to be, and they're in sort of like this training mode where they're trying to get their way back up to the top.
A lot of fight needs to come out from Swedish CS, but let's see if NiP can take this opening map right here. This opening round will be a great start right here. They've got Get Right on the double flash smoke and Dead Fox with the smoke and defuse kit. Going to get a bit of information on where these T's are coming from. And the initial salve looks to be a straight up split into the A site, but Dead Fox opens things up, taking down Draken with a headshot through the smoke. CTs get that opening pick, and the T's are just going to go ahead and commit to this, try and strong arm their way out of this position, and they're just getting picked apart by Dead Fox. 3 kills for him. Now it's just Rez, the new blood, and Forrest, the old 1.6 legend, to try and bring things back. They will get the bomb down on the B side, but a 2 versus 5 retake. This is less than likely for the T side.
NiP, such a tough situation. Forrest just sitting behind Oil, seeing if he can find anything. Is able to spot down Angel and take him out, but Rez, they need to get the synchronization on, and they're not going to be able to, as Rez, a great shot onto one, but can't finish it off, as HellRaisers close in on the opposition, and they're able to get the defuse underway. And I feel like that round went in hand from Dead Fox's 3K towards Ivy, and a great start coming out from HellRaisers.
Yeah, solidly held defensive, and if you can't deal with a player with no armor, then that's going to be a bit of a problem here for NiP. Sure, it was with a pistol round granted, and they're actually going to go in with a bit more, weaponry and a bit more of a buy-up than we were actually expecting. They've got the AK on Forest, and this is a very, very curious buy that we've been seeing more and more lately, just these upgraded pistols around this AK. But even NiP, they're not even going for this. They're just going to go for a flashbang on Rez and just a couple of upgraded P250s, not even armor or anything. And rather than go for that fully defined AK by an early round when HellRaisers get up 2-0, they're going to try and strong arm potentially another bomb plant out here.
Very interesting buy coming out from Forrest, as straight away he gets taken down, which means Exist is going to be able to pick up that AK, but obviously he doesn't have that head armor in place. He knows there's one in CTs towards Z connector, but a great kill coming out from Angel, making his way down to Pop Dog. Means NiP, well, they're down to 3 members. The AK still in hand, but NiP, they don't have the weapon advantage. Just Zero getting aggressive towards back of blue. And NiP, they're closed off of their position as Dead Fox getting very aggressive all the way down alley coming out of Ivy. Is able to find 2, trying to find the 3rd, but he finally gets taken down by Draken, which means it's all down to him left. UMP in hand, and he gets taken down. So NiP, not even a bomb plant, and not really much damage done.
Yeah, sadly Forrest fell way, way, way too quickly to kind of put any effectiveness with that AK in particular. Just peeked out in towards T-Con, and that towards the A site will get shut down for it. And of course Rez was the man who dropped him that AK, and you can kind of see what the issues that buy sort of causes. If you can't quite find it, can't quite find a round like that, it means that he's just got a deagle with helmet, Kevlar, and limited on the utility. In fact, limited on the utility set for the entire of the Ninjas at this point in time. They've used already a couple of smokes in towards this South, and just got 4 flashbangs in total. They're not even expecting the early peek from Angel, as he just sprays down Rez right here in the B halls. A great opener. Once again from HellRaisers, and NiP just look to crumble once again. At the very least, he only got Rez, which is just that deagle. The 4 AKs are still in play, and the T side will look to try to see if they can shut him down. Get Right will be looking for this trade, and indeed he does catch Angel off guard at close range. But yeah, this bomb going to hit right in towards Heaven, and all 4 players of the T side are going to start splitting in towards the B side. Exist gets himself a nice couple of kills, gets the bomb down, and yeah, 4 versus 3 retake. This is a nice advantage for NiP.
It's looking like a more favourable situation, as Draken getting aggressive towards Oil is able to turn down Woxic, so it's all down to Dead Fox left. A 1-on-3, and Exist is able to spot him out. So NiP shifting the momentum back into their hands, picking up that 3rd round AK buy, and that leaves HellRaisers in a bit of a tough predicament, because at this stage they've got the M4s, but the economy's not fantastic for them.
Yeah, still kind of trying to recover things at this point in time. This early battle, a war of attrition, to see who's going to break the other's economy. HellRaisers don't want to let this one go so easily. They don't want to go for a half buy. They don't want to go for a basic eco. They will just go in with the M4s, the CZ, and the AWP for Woxic. They're going to try see if they can break down NiP, reset their economy right here, because that round wasn't the cleanest of rounds. They have had to force the reinvestment, and their own economy after losing 2 rounds in a row is still not going to be quite set in point. Draken will open things up, taking it down 0. Woxic, of course, there with a quick trade back, and the T side will start to make their way into ramp. There's only one man here to defend. That is Angel, and he is looking in towards heaven, completely caught off guard. We'll spot two players as Rez and Forest give away their positions. East is here for the backup play, and will spray on towards Get Right as Forest also falls. Good grenade, I think, just took down Exist and Rez to 51 and 56 respectively. Now it's just Exist on 51 HP. Will tap his way onto the AWP, and he's got to find two more. He's got a good flank on Dead Fox. He sees this coming. He hears the footsteps. Will spray him down and take him out of the action. And now Angel knows exactly where this man is. No defuse kit on his utility belt. Has to find this kill relatively quickly. And he's peeking. Exist is playing for time. He will end up falling, and it will be HellRaisers resetting an IP for a 3-1 scoreline.
Well, there was almost a 1v3 clutch coming out from Exist, but in the end it didn't work out in his favour as HellRaisers just hold on by the thread of their teeth as they get to 3 rounds on the board, and that just completely resets NiP. Their economy was strong last round, not as strong as into this, but they're going to force straight back into this as Draken, he is on the scout while the rest of his members trying to go onto those AKs. The utility, it's okay, but it's not fantastic. And a map like Train, utility is so important to be able to get control because the map is so big, you need to be able to isolate the areas. And NiP, one of these teams that even with these low utility buys, they're able to get so much done.
A strong arming their way out of this one. I actually feel like NiP might have a better buy into this one. You know, actually, they've got the 4 AKs versus HellRaisers, who only have 3 rifles, one of which is a FAMAS. Definitely not the best economical state here, and NiP doing their damage with that bomb plant. It does exhaust their money down to very, very little amounts, and no dollars, $50 on Get Right at the richest player here for NiP. But still, that scout, those 4 AKs with a few smokes to be able to use right here. It would be a light execution if they wanted to try for it, but it's possible, it's doable. 60 seconds still left on the clock, and Dead Fox will try and chance this out with a UMP of all things. Probably an information play, but that's way, way, way too risky to go down that particular long-range angle. Like, the UMP isn't that effective at long range anymore, so I don't know why he wasn't pushing up there when someone like Zero or Angel could have taken that angle and potentially won out a fight, got some damage, and able to get that information all the same. So yeah, a little bit of odd play coming in from HellRaisers, but eventually NiP will start to wrap on through. Smokes over on the cross, they make their way out towards T-Con. Rez gets a nice double, taps down Dead Fox, has his second kill, and Woxic trying to do all he can, gets outflanked by Get Right in Ivy. Easter comes up with a nice double spray, taking 2 players down, but he gets traded, as does Angel, and HellRaisers will concede one more back to the NiP side.
Great round coming out from NiP. They ran out of utility towards the execute, towards the site, but it was just NiP hitting their shots, and at the end of the day, Woxic, he was in a tough situation, had that MP7, was able to find one, but can't help his team and find another. As NiP, they climb their way back to almost taking the lead with a second round on the board, which means HellRaisers, they are just going to be forcing up on some pistols and a complete full buy coming out from them. But what interests me there from HellRaisers, we saw that UMP getting aggressive towards Ivy, and we've seen Dead Fox do it many rounds in a row that NiP seem to catch on of exactly what's going on.
Yeah, good information gathering now, just down to a bit of a force buy out here from the CT side. Deagles and CZs, Kevlar helmets. Not a whole lot more to work with. I mean, they have got an opening pick. Dead Fox managing to land ahead of Forest. Out towards T-Con, a lot of T-side players jumped up right here. If they went for that, that raining hell with the frag grenades, just like 5 frag grenades straight in towards T-Con, they would have gotten a lot of damage on NiP, and suddenly this round wouldn't be looking so much more difficult for the CT side, but they won't be able to do so. They're going to get burned alive, taken down, Draken with a kill on Dead Fox. 2 versus 4 situation left for the remaining 2 CTs. Not really much else that's available to them here. We'll see what we'll be able to do. At least maybe able to take down 2 players. Draken and Exist falling, and you would have been able to get as much out of this particular force buy as you can. But yeah, not really much of a round right here for the HellRaisers. It looks to be a 3rd on the board for NiP. Just Easter trying to do whatever damage he can, and Get Right will shoot him in the Achilles heel to take a 3rd round for the NiP side.
NiP tying it up 3 apiece as HellRaisers, their economy, considering they fall straight back into that with pistols, it's just again shattered for them, which means they're probably just going to opt for the complete save, see if they can get a rifle off the tees and bring it into the next round, or at least deny any presence from NiP. The best they can do is do a couple of kills and maybe just some damage being dealt, maybe just try and do something, because when you've got 5 USPs and a P250, that's all you can do with Forest and Get Right finding kills. And HellRaisers, well, they've just lost to what they can do. Zero, he's able to find 1 kill, which means Angel's going to be the only one left. So far, 1 kill going in the hands of the CTs, and that's really all they could hope for.
Yeah, not much being found by HellRaisers, and as you say, that's all they can really hope for. The 4th AK will get picked up by Draken, trading out that MAC-10. Kind of a shame he didn't get as many kills on that as he wanted to. I would have felt like NiP could have put themselves in a much better standing at this point in time, you know, in a much better position with this economy to be able to, you know, start bolstering it. Because, you know, they've already got some decent money set. Just to hold that together would have just been dire for HellRaisers in trying to wear down this money state. We have to take round after round in a row, and not looking good. Not a great performance from this CT side so far for HellRaisers. Most of them now have been ecos and force buys. So let's see if this rifle round can come up to play right here. It is round 8. 3 rounds of loss bonus on the board for HellRaisers. Means they have the 4 M4s. They have the FAMAS out. Already quite a decent trader utility, as it looks like NiP are going to set up for a very quick execution here into the A site.
HellRaisers, they are limited to the utility they have at the moment, and Ninjas in Pajamas making so much use to bait out the utility from the CT's. Forest early on finding a kill. His teammates tried to find something, but he's a finding 3. A great spray down from him. Leaves all exist left in a 1-on-2 clutch scenario. The bomb has been dropped, and HellRaisers trying to close in, as that's going to be Woxic finishing him off. And wow, a 3K coming out from Izza, and really that just secured the round in the hands for HellRaisers.
Issa, you legend. 2 kills, lining up the sprays that they made their way out towards the electric box, then peeked back in, double dip towards T-Con as they get a 3rd before he got traded out. They did lose 3 players, HellRaisers, but they managed to take a round back. That's going to be 4-4 as the CTs even things up again. And you can see that NiP, as a result of this force buy, after coming back into this one pretty weak here. They've got very, very little in the reserves. Might have to think about their buy up in the next round if HellRaisers can take another round away right here. So let's see what they've got to go with. They've got aggression in towards the B side. They've got Angel, of course, pushing up, hoping for a kill or 2. Maybe if NiP do rush it down, he would have been granted that. But he has a general idea of where they're playing from. Actually, Molotov's res back away. I think he actually did hear that damage as well. So he'll call out that information towards his teammates. And he's going to back off in towards B site in hearing the damage come on out. Now just utility coming on through. And NiP will start to make a little bit more with this default. So far, not finding a pick, not finding an overextension from HellRaisers. They're playing this one disciplined. They're playing this one, for the most part, okay. 60 seconds still left on the clock. NiP do have time to work with, but they've got to wrap up into the setup pretty quickly.
55 seconds left. NiP, the utility, it's still great on the side. As HellRaisers, aggressive positions coming out from many members of the CTs into this round. And NiP have to make sure that their execution is perfect. But once again, NiP, the default working out. The utility very limited for HellRaisers, but Dead Fox opening up the playing field, finding that first initial kill onto Get Right. So immediately the pressure goes into the hands of NiP as Angel is able to find 1 exist, trading it out, but Angel actually finding a 2nd as it's all down to Draken left. A 1-on-3 clutch scenario, and the bomb's been dropped. 15 seconds left. It's a do or die situation for Draken. But he gets taken down by the long spray down coming out from Zero. So HellRaisers, they find another round on the board. And like we said, HellRaisers, they can be unpredictable and possibly upset a couple of rounds or even upset a couple of matches. And so far, HellRaisers, they've looked pretty steady on their CT side.
Yeah, been a good showing so far, but still got to contend against the star power almost of NiP at the moment. They're still down by only a round. They are going to go for a force buy right here. 3 AKs, a Galil and a P250 with Kevlar helmets and the utility set on most players. Slightly limited, but should be enough to make work what they want to work. There's more got to try and chime back against the aggression coming in from the CT side, as Angel is going to try dip on through. Does get a dink onto Rez, but isn't able to get the job done as he's the first casualty of this round. And we'll have a rotation at the very least. Issa is there to try and back him up. Holding passive in towards heaven. And just waiting outside of that for NiP to make their move. Could get a trade back on Exist, which would be great because that would also mean that Rez is still left in play at 11 HP. That's not where they want to be standing with their young blood here. A minute to go. Excuse me, a minute to go. And the smokes will come out. It looks like it's going to be another hit on towards the A site as the bomb, well, hasn't quite committed, but it can commit very, very quickly right here. NiP going towards this A site. 5-on-4, one-man advantage here.
The CTs, they've already rotated complete the whole team around towards this A bomb site. Woxic finding the first kill. Now the kills are coming all across the board as it's all down to Get Right, but he's able to find 2. And he's going to turn the situation into a 1-on-1, but 35 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if he has an idea where Woxic is he's going to change up his position. The AWP in hand, and it's looking like Get Right's going to make his way to the B bomb site. And Woxic is sitting in Z connector, so he is able to make sure that his positioning does work out. And Get Right not quite hitting the strafes onto the train is going to limit his HP, but the bomb been planted. It is just a hiding game for Get Right. Who is going to find each other first? Get Right getting aggressive towards Oil once again. And he spots out Woxic and he's going to win that battle. So Get Right, he is going to be able to save the round for his team and make it 5 apiece.
Now, all thanks to the trades coming in for Get Right. 3 kills for him in this round. And while most of his teammates did fall, he was able to stay alive and was also able to get that plant down. He kind of just outplayed Woxic in that case, just well close, as you said, towards the oil position of that map, right up towards the CT side. Just Woxic wasn't expecting such a sheer amount of aggression coming in for the NiP veteran. So, 5-5. So far, the scoreline will be even, and HellRaisers will be forced down to a very basic round right here. Only one player with armor with that CZ. Everybody else has only an upgraded pistol in the form of Woxic or just a standard CZ full eco. So outside of that, it is not a whole lot working here for the HellRaisers side. You've got a lot of work to do. That's needless to say. It's probably less than likely that they'll be able to take this round out of the action. Maybe just look to stack up. In this kind of situation, I'm very surprised that they're playing in towards an aggressive default rather than trying to stack up on towards a site, try and see if they can pick off a T-side player, take a rifle away from their hands, try to see if they can wear down that T-side economy, because if you're giving them 1v1s or 1vx's like this when you've got a full eco, then it's just always going to favour to the form of NiP. As Forrest has proven, taking down Dead Fox, all CTs will wrap in towards the A side, but the bomb should go down. I don't see any way that HellRaisers will take a save.
Unfortunately not, as NiP granted site control. Rez finding that lovely sharp kill onto Woxic, as now Get Right and Forrest also finding kills. Zero once again finding the kills on those pistol rounds, but Exist knows exactly where he is and able to take him down. So NiP only losing 1 member, and HellRaisers not doing as much damage as they would have liked, but at the end of the day, NiP once again taking the lead 6-5, and HellRaisers buying straight back into this, and still the utility hasn't been a full buy for HellRaisers so far this entire game.
Yeah, it's been a very back and forth affair. But so far NiP are playing us, I think, a little bit better than HellRaisers, just managing that economy a little bit better and holding a decent amount in towards these rounds. This full buy here gives quite a lot of utility as well, full sets on everybody for the NiP T side. And as you say, HellRaisers just quite limited. No AWP here, only the 5 M4s. And yeah, already running out. They've got 2 smokes, a flashbang, and an incendiary, and that's about it here for the late half of the round. So NiP will look to make their way down. It's Angel to defend the B bomb side. Done a decent job of it so far. Can he hold off against 3 incoming T-side players? Here's the footstep towards his left. Gets down Rez, but isn't able to take Exist out of the action. So Easter will come on through, get traded back by Draken with the AWP, and turns it into a 4-on-3 to the favour of NiP. At this point, HellRaisers realise that their chances are up, their opportunities are limited, and they will save the M4s into the next round, allow NiP to bring the scoreline deficit to 2 at 7-5 to the favour of the T-side.
HellRaisers just opting to go for the save, and at the end of the day, holding on to 3 of those rifles is probably the best decision, just because trying to retake the site, especially with not much utility and you're in the man disadvantage, it's always going to be very tough to at least try and win the round, and especially trying to retake that B bomb site. Utility is key to be able to flush out those positions towards Brown Halls, the catwalk, and the ramp. As Zero, he's able to take down Forrest late into the round, just as the bomb goes off, but HellRaisers, they come alive with 3 M4 saved into this, and this just means that the other 2 members are going to just force straight back into this and upgrade on the back of those 3 saved rifles.
Two for Masters come out, but that's not a bad call. You know, HellRaisers realizing their economical state, realizing that they could force the issue together in this round, but they're going to have to contend against NiP's aggression. Look at Exist, pushing straight out of T-Con. Back behind the blue train and potentially up towards green. Could take out Woxic if Woxic isn't careful. He's got to spot him out right here. He does, and he does take him out. So that's a great start for HellRaisers. Once again, the Ivy control working out to the favor of this CT side. And now they will just wait on through, waiting for the opportunity to present itself to the NiP side. Except for Deadfox, so she pushes up towards Ivy and gets caught off guard of his own accord. That's going to be straight back. The amount of advantage traded, and Draken takes it back to the favor of NiP, taking out Woxic. And leaves it up to 3 left alive. Take note of the fact they took down the 2 M4s as well. Only 1 left in play, and these 2 from Masters to bring the firepower. They've got to have an absolutely stellar round against NiP, and it just doesn't seem likely at this point. With Issa going aggressive once again, HellRaisers just feeding themselves 1v1s, even Rez getting a second kill. And Zero just left alone alive to try see what he can do. Flank coming in from Get Right, sprays on Fruit, and connects it for the 8th round on the board for the Ninjas.
Ninjas in pajamas making work on their T side as they now bounce their way into 8 rounds on the scoreboard. And at the end of the day, HellRaisers, it looked like early on they had the answer to what NiP was throwing at them, but they've gotten to a state where, especially on the CT side, you have to maintain a good economy, because otherwise the Ts are just going to roll over you, and that's exactly what NiP are doing at the moment. The Swedes showing their power as HellRaisers on upgraded pistols. Once again, Rez coming out of Pop Dog early is going to take down Zero. And Exist coming out a cheeky kill onto Deadfox. So NiP, they are on fire right now, hitting their shots and winning them Angels. As HellRaisers, they're down to 3. And Exist once again is going to be able to find a double. Of Angel getting aggressive towards Pop Dog. Woxic coming around the bomb train, finding 2. Almost a 3rd, and it's all down to Izza left. A CZ in hand up against 3. And HellRaisers, they've done a lot of damage into this round, but there's still a lot more to be done. He doesn't have the head armor, and it looks like he's just going to try and save it. As HellRaisers looking as if they're going to lose another round, and NiP making their way to 9 rounds on the board. And now that's going to be 5 rounds in a row for NiP.
Well, he's getting a little bit more damage at the very least off the back of Woxic's double K with that P250. Very good stuff. I mean, that could have presented an opportunity if more players from that CT side were alive, but, you know, he's just following up with that damage, turning it down to 3 players that need to reinvest here for NiP. Which for HellRaisers, you know, would be more of a victory if it wasn't the end of the half, but, you know, they're doing all they can given the rounds that they, the setups for the rounds that they've got. They just now need to focus on getting this next round to turn it to 6-9. So hopefully if they can get a pistol on that T side, they could even the scoreline. They've got a double AWP set up for this round to try and do it. Limited on the utility, sure, but there should be more than enough to defend against NiP unless they just rush straight out of the gate, which it looks like Draken is doing. He gets Deadfox, Woxic with a quick trade back on Rez. The AWP still doing work, but a good flank from Zero takes himself a second onto Draken and Forest, leaving up to Get Right and Exist, but they're in very, very good positions. And Exist gets 1, Get Right gets another. It all comes down to Angel. Last man here for the HellRaisers side, and NiP rush it down. They still manage to make it work. Bomb on the back of Exist, still yet to make it on towards the site. But if Get Right can catch off Angel, then it could still end up being to the favor of that T, so they only need to find this 1 kill. And Angel is playing so carefully, trying to peek on through the smoke, but he's Get Right. They're so close to each other. He didn't see the gun barrel. This is huge because Get Right can peek out and shut him down. And that will be 10 rounds on the board for NiP to close out their T-side half.
Yeah, great half coming out from NiP. We didn't really see them go strat heavy. They really revolved around their defaults and seeing how much map control we can get. And it seemed that HellRaisers was sort of just feeding into that. We saw a lot of times that HellRaisers was getting aggressive on their CT side, giving the man advantage straight into the hands of NiP. And I feel like it wasn't NiP, when they were defaulting, they weren't bringing one member to one certain part of the map at every time. They always had a teammate there to either trade the kill or help the teammate out, baiting and getting the utility out across. And NiP had a very strong T side. And now HellRaisers, it's all up to them to see what they can do. 5-10 in favor of NiP. And at this moment of time, HellRaisers, it's a long road ahead for them indeed.
They are getting the advantage there. They've proven already once this match that they can pull off very good, impressive pistol rounds. Looking at the defensive, of course, towards Ivy, and this time towards Ivy, they will get a lot of damage onto the likes of Forest. So not that bad out of HellRaisers. If they can work off this advantage, then it would be good. They've got Dead Fox setting out the utility. Grenades, a smoke, a flashbang still to use right here. They've got the smoke out on towards the first area of A1, but Aegis is going to spot them coming out towards Ivy. They know that there's one player right here. They will rush him down and they will try to see if they can get the trade as Issa will falls. Woxy gets one more back. Forest on low HP is 0. Takes the man advantage for the HellRaisers side. They've got to make their way on towards the A side. Rez is still holding close range, and look at this, the T's know it. Woxy will be able to land his second in the round, and Angel follows it up. It's all Forest tagged up early here and now left alone in a 1 versus 4. Will peek, will actually get Dead Fox's head. But now they know where he is, so Angel will wrap around for the flank and try to see if he can shut him down. Indeed, he will be able to do so. So HellRaisers, a second strong pistol round. That is both pistols to the favor. And maybe this T-side might not be out of the woods just yet, you know.
It's never over until it's over. HellRaisers winning a very important pistol round, and that is going to give them the edge, you'd have to say, for the second and third round. And NiP, get right on the Nova. An interesting decision, but on a map like Train, holding it in a close range situation, and it's definitely a farmer of the money.
Let's see if they can potentially pick something back, you know. Putting this Nova at close range could net a little bit of money for Get Right, but in this case he just ends up falling. Draken as well. Forest with a trade at least with the Deagle, but he'll get dealt with very, very quickly, leaving it up to Rez. Alone with a backstab set up, but yeah, this round going about as well as you would expect it. NiP with that force play, putting a lot of faith in that Nova in particular to try to see if they can get any significant work done. You know, trying to get the money building on this CT side. You know, trying to get them a bit more of a head start when the T's might be looking a little bit more vulnerable. In this case, it's just not to be, and it will be 7 rounds on the board for HellRaisers. But as I said, you know, that round is going about as well as you would expect it.
Absolutely, indeed. Rez, the last one alive. CZ and head armor in hand is able to find an exit frag onto Dead Fox, but other than that, the T's have spotted him out, and Rez, seeing what he can do, is able to find another kill onto Woxic and pick up an AWP. So Rez, he's just rubbing his hands together, because that is definitely not a situation that HellRaisers wanted to be in. An AK saved into this round, and what we saw there from NiP is even though they forced on the second after losing the pistol, they didn't completely force into that. And what that means is if you lose the second and third round, once you get into that first gun round, you're not going to be as limited to the utility.
Sorry, mate, did you say they saved an AWP?
Mate, it's getting late in Australia. I think that's what's going on.
Oh dear. Well, Rez got an extra rifle to work with. We'll have the head armor and Kevlar as well, so could put some damage on the board for HellRaisers. If he can force the rebuy on 3 more players here, then again, that would be great for the economical state of NiP. But yeah, opening fray goes to the favor of the T side. They just enter on towards the B side and shut down Get Right. Easy, quick, and clean. Just leaving it up to the rest of the 4 CTs, again, to do whatever damage they can. They're just trying to force a rebuy here. They're trying to take rifles away from this T side. And they're setting up as appropriate to do so towards the exit positions of where HellRaisers will be moving to try and get themselves out of dodge of this bomb explosion. So, yeah, at the bottom line will be 8-10. It will be a scoreline to the favour of NiP. But, you know, HellRaisers starting things off here in this T-side half and, you know, doing well enough to keep themselves back in this matchup. We'll start potentially working off this buy round right here. It comes up to NiP. If they win it, they can shut down HellRaisers. If HellRaisers win it, and well, this T-side may still be in contention, and we'll be looking at 10-10 off the back of this next rifle round. So let's see what they buy down. They've got an AK on Rez, so it does relieve a little bit of investment and tries to deal with a little bit more of the head armor on that T-side. The AWP coming in from Draken, and the M4's looking to follow right here. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's 4 AKs. The Galil out for Dead Fox. He had that for a couple of rounds, and Wox are going to opt not to keep him with the MAC-10, but that's more than fine for the current setup here.
Well, the economy, it's still looking actually surprisingly very well for HellRaisers, and that's just they weren't able to lose many members in the first 3 rounds of the half. But NiP looking to deal as much damage as they can as Exist coming out early, finding a frag as well as Get Right. And so far, HellRaisers, they are just shut down at every position in hand as it's all down to Dead Fox left. And NiP not even losing a member. The crossfire working out, and HellRaisers, they just walked into an absolute slaughter.
What the hell? Like, that was not the way I was expecting that round to go. HellRaisers didn't get a single pick. Not a single pick on that execution. And NiP just held that so well together, and I have no idea what went wrong right there. HellRaisers just looked all over the place. There's just so many different things. They're going to be forced down a full AK buy right here, and that economy that you gave so many praises earlier on during the early part of that round is now just going to be nothing. They're going to force it back down and limit it on the utility set. 5 AK, sorry. Of course, the AWP, the 4 rifle set with 2 AKs recovered by this CT side, can work against the head armor that the T side have in play right here. It's going to be Angel to strike first. Gets a trade by Rez. Rez going to see if he can try to take out Dead Fox as well with a Molotov, but Dead Fox able to get that trade back. 18 HP down on him. So yeah, not going to be looking at a forward angle so far towards this T side, but yeah, it's definitely a morale breaker to see that kind of a situation come through for the T side.
Exists just on the other side of this smoke, but unfortunately HellRaisers falling back on that Ivy push. HellRaisers, although Dead Fox is just sitting on 18 HP, they do have the man advantage. But Get Right getting aggressive towards Brown Halls, is able to take down Zero. That is not the bomb carrier, but a great start coming out from NiP. As NiP, 40 seconds left on the clock. They do need to sort of get on a move on to find out exactly what HellRaisers are trying to piece together. And it's looking like the bomb going to make its way towards this A bomb site and Exist, finding one, trying to look for the second, but immediately traded out by Izza. So it's all down to Get Right and Forest to try and rotate and retake this site. But the bomb still not planted for HellRaisers. They're taking their time. And Izza seeing if he can spot anything out. But Forest with that AWP shot onto Woxic. Get Right chiming in as well as NiP make their way to 12 rounds on a board. And HellRaisers, I feel like they should have got that bomb down a little bit earlier.
Yeah, well, thanks to that AWP, they shut down the bomb plant. The HellRaisers took way too much time with it, had absolutely no idea on where the CTs were holding from. And that retake was just well placed from the NiP CT side. This has forced HellRaisers into a basic eco round. Not enough money on the board. Deagles, P250, CZs, and Glocks. No armor, no utility. All going to come down to see if these upgraded pistols can find some headshots entering in towards this T side default. And the bomb making its way over towards the B side. Already Angel was fallen, and that just goes to head and start the round. To start to fall apart here for HellRaisers, I imagine that this won't be looking too great for them right here. They will try at least get a bomb plant, which I think may be the best given the circumstances. You know, get that extra money. Try to see if you can force the issue away from NiP during the next rifle round, which will actually be incoming in the next round with a 3 rounds of loss bonus. So with the money that they already have saved up, a minute still left to go. Bomb will make its way in towards Pop Dog, so maybe a quick Pop Dog push in towards A site may be applicable, but there are 3 CTs to hold here, so it's going to get difficult, that's to say the least for HellRaisers at this point in time.
Well, HellRaisers, they need to sort of connect all the shots they can. They can't make mistakes, especially with the buy that they have. Dead Fox early on getting spotted out towards Catwalk while they call the rest of the teammates and the cavalry to arrive. But Rez sitting on top of Oil, making his way to Spools, has spotted out a few players and takes Dead Fox down to 1 HP, but nothing else done. And NiP, even though they realize that there are players towards this B bomb side, they haven't completely rotated everyone over. Draken with a very nice 3-piece with the AWP is just going to shut down HellRaisers. And just when we thought HellRaisers, we thought they had what it takes to come back into this and make it a solid scoreline, 13-8. NiP looking so strong on their CT side.
And failed that initial pistol round, but now suddenly they may have an opportunity back right here. The rifle round looking solid and just the rest of it just looking so good from NiP. HellRaisers have a bit of a job to do right here. Woxic will peek, get the first tag on Exist, but isn't able to finish the job. Just 9 HP down on the leg shot. And now the T's will start to peek on through, looking for whatever picks they can, getting the damage, but no, the kills just aren't falling towards their favor. NiP, they're getting aggressive, and Zero trying to punish for it. Is actually going to get taken down by Rez. Finally, Angel will try and back, but just at the same time, Get Right takes out Dead Fox. Look at the HP standing for NiP. This is still not looking good for HellRaisers. They've got so many opportunities presented to them, but they're just not finding the kills. And NiP will now set up for the defensive on this A bomb site as the bomb makes its way on through. Draken a good shot, taking down a flick onto Angel. Leaves it up to Woxic and Issa. Then Woxic will get 1 man. But there's still 3 more to find, and low HP players, NiP are going to hold back. I have doubts, actually. I feel like HellRaisers may still end up losing this.
Well, Izza, he's trapped towards the site while Woxic coming around through Ivy and Exist. He's just on the left side and he's going to be able to spot out Woxic as soon as he comes out of Ivy unless he predicts the position. And Woxic, he is going to be able to find that kill, but Rez, great support, is able to come around and take him down. It's all down to Izza left. A 1-on-2 situation. He's able to take down Draken and it's up against Rez. Rez on for the 3k and Izza, the bomb in hand, 20 seconds left. He needs to win this and he does indeed. HellRaisers just holding on as Izza winning a very important aim duel and NiP not having what it takes as HellRaisers make their way to 9 rounds on the board.
So many missed opportunities though for HellRaisers. Picks not going in their favor, just tag damage, tagging NiP so low, and even still, they brought it to a 1 versus 1. Not a great showing here from Issa and his team. Issa able to clutch it out eventually, but even so, look at the damage it's done to this T side. UMP's Galil's only 2 AKs to play with, and up against Rez, he sprays down 2 before Zero trades him out, and look at this get right also following it up. A quick rush from HellRaisers, and again, NiP find a way of dealing with it. Issa caught out by a Martov, can't make his way on through because he's on 34 HP. Angel trying to make his way on through as well as the T's. Just looking absolutely confused, totally flustered. They don't know what to do as NiP are waiting to hold out this B side. They have stacked 3 players, but eventually Exist will catch off on a rotate and try and hold down A as well. Hasn't got the info on those last 2 players just yet. And the bomb will make his way back towards T-Con. HellRaisers can still hit the A site here.
They have the opportunity. It's just whether the synchronization on the execution is going to go in their favor. Angel and Izza left, the last remaining members alive on this T side. So much work to be done. And Angel, he's made his way into Pop Dog, and they've actually split the T's, where Izza making his way towards Ali and towards Ivy. He's going to be able to take down Exist and turn it into a 2-on-2, but his teammate needs to be able to help him out, and that's not going to be the start that they need. Forest and Draken finding AWP kills, and HellRaisers, that was the round they needed, and now NiP 14-9, and HellRaisers' economy, it's just not great at all, and you'd have to say that NiP are going to make their way to match point.
It's more than likely at this point HellRaisers going in for a force buy. Deagle, CZs, Kevlar helmets, utility brought away, but just, my god, absolutely flustered throughout the entire of that round. That's going to cost them big time in this particular case. They have to score a round if they want to stop NiP going to map point. As you say, it's more than likely here for the CTs. HellRaisers going to set up. They've got 3 smokes for this B execution. Could smoke off the cross on several train spots. And let's have a look-see here. Right now, there's going to be 5 players stacking on through with the smokes going out. Dead Fox and the rest of them. Flashbangs over the edge. Here they come into the B bomb site. Rez is ready to receive. Sprays on the walls. The first get right, looking out the crossfire. And look at this. Issa does get down and take down 1 player, but it's just him and Dead Fox. And Dead Fox just can't land his shots. Needs to get this bomb down now. Needs to buy a chance for HellRaisers in a 4-on-2 situation. Issa getting 1 AWP from the other side. The Draken takes down another. Molotov's away, and Dead Fox does extinguish it, but he's on 20 HP. And Draken needs to land a single shot on his Achilles heel to bring NiP to 15-9. Map point for the CT side, and this T side has just gone so wrong for HellRaisers, man.
Yeah, Jay, unfortunately, HellRaisers, it just seems, it's not that they're losing control, it's just that NiP are playing this style that HellRaisers haven't been able to adapt to. You see time and time again on their T side trying to execute towards the site and just being shut down by the CTs. HellRaisers just not having what it takes, as they now need 6 rounds in a row to at least take it to overtime. Where on the other hand, NiP, they just need 1 in taking this map. And the second map is going to be Mirage, which was HellRaisers' pick. And HellRaisers, I just like to see a little bit more from them.
They need to find more, man. This needs to be their last opportunity, their last stand in this particular round already. Forest will connect two, looking for the third man. Issa does take him out the action, but that's still a 2-for-1 trade, and it's to the favor of NiP. This CZ of Angel does get one back, but the two rifles of Dead Fox and Issa need to find a little bit more as Issa does fall. He finds nothing. Now it's down to 2 versus 3. Dead Fox has got Rez locked out in towards Pop Dog. He will fall, and now it's going to be all Dead Fox. A 1 versus 1 once again. HellRaisers down to the wire, but little does get right know that Dead Fox is still here on the A side. Surely he must have had the information. I mean, he is rotating towards a better angle, but for a minute there, it looked like he was going towards the B site now. Dead Fox looking, trying to spot, get right, sprays on through, and does save HellRaisers for another round. But 10 to 15, 4 players falling, and HellRaisers' economy still looks shattered.
HellRaisers, they're climbing the ladder. It's so close to almost being broken. HellRaisers, 5 more rounds to take it to overtime. It is pretty much a do-or-die situation from them. They can't make mistakes. They can't fall into the trap of NiP's defense on the CT side. And once again, Woxic with the AWP, finding that first initial kill onto Exist, while the rest of his teammates making control of Pop Dog. And kills coming across the board as Forest is able to find 2 with that USP in hand. But other than that, it's going to be nothing else for the side of NiP as HellRaisers just storming through as they find another round. And HellRaisers, they were able to keep 3 rifles across, but Forest finding that 2-piece is really going to hurt HellRaisers.
Yeah, once again, an awkward buy back into this one. A Galil down on Dead Fox, AWPs and 3 AKs to play with this T side. NiP, of course, with a double ult setup, could still shut this down. And look at Exist. He's going to go aggressive. He might catch off Issa, still supported by his teammate in Drac and the flashbangs to come on through right here. Forest gets the opener on Woxic, and already that's a bad start when NiP are right here, 1 round away from taking the first map. HellRaisers do not need to start things like this. It's Issa to challenge out towards Ivy, and he will get taken down by Exist. And just like that, it comes down to the last player. Forest gets another kill on Angel, leaving it up to 0, and Dead Fox a 5-on-2. Smokes down. Forest still looking for whatever he can. Does peek and does take out Dead Fox, leaving it all up to 0. A 1 versus 5. This one is over. It will be 16 to 11 to the favor of NiP.